Well, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Got a great broadcast lineup for you this morning, as I hope that we always do. I hope that we always do. The phone lines are open 508-924-3521, 508-924-3521. Give us a call. We'd love to hear from you. We got a couple of things that we're going to talk about this morning. And we're going to we definitely good. Let me see. Pimp C, good morning, Pimp C. Good morning, Anthony. Good morning, Paul. Good to have you all with us. And Captain Leonard, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, Raheem and the Morning Glow family. How are you?
Hey, doing good, man. Had to take care of some had some duties I had to take care of. I'll tell you about it later. That kind of pushed me back a little bit this morning.
Mm-hmm.
And so, man, it's amazing when you're up early. They life, how they say, life happens, life happens, life
Oh yeah,
happens. And so, but Leonard, what's going on, man? How's everything going with your brother? You good?
yeah. Things are going pretty good.
Okay. What's going on? We got a caller. Caller, we coming to you in just 1 second. What's going on in the political arena that we need to be caught up to speed on?
Well, I think that this previous issue with Biden and Harris, as it relates to the voting act,
Mm-hmm.
John Lewis's voting act, there
Yes.
was a big thing here as related to him visiting. And if you're not going to talk about that, we really don't want to hear what you have to say.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that was put on by a particular political action group here, uh, Black Awareness, actually, political activist group
Mm-hmm.
that made these insisted that the administration address this issue and why it's such a problem. It's
Mm-hmm.
such an issue because you have people opposed to it, and of course, you know those who are opposed in Congress are all Republicans who refuse to go ahead and pass this act. And it's because they are primarily concerned with disenfranchising individuals. So
Mm-hmm.
they don't want rules to have to be followed. They don't want voters to have to be notified when changes are made to polling locations and things like that. They don't want to provide the resources of early voting or dropping off ballots and things of that
Mm-hmm.
nature. So these are the people fighting against that and trying to limit the access to the polls by those individuals that would vote against them. So you see it predominantly in areas where there's a huge concentration of African American voting and
Mm-hmm.
things like that. Anything that they can do to disenfranchise people because they have no good story,
Mm-hmm.
they
Wow.
have no truth, they really have no policy leg to stand on as it relates to assisting and supporting the American people.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
They're against majority types of help for Americans suffering from COVID as it relates to, because believe me, do understand people are still losing jobs even with this turnover in the market. People are still being threatened, people are still being harassed as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, I would advise people to take advantage of this labor market right now where
Okay.
they are paying people higher wages for menial labor.
Mm-hmm.
Now if you wanted to make $15, say for instance, waiting on tables or what have you, and things of that nature, delivering pizza, for
Mm-hmm.
instance, stuff like that you would never consider, are paying higher than usual wages because of the lack of labor.
Mm-hmm.
So take advantage of that if what you have to offer is time. If you got some time and you need a job, you can get a job now.
Now, what do you say to the people? And we got a couple of people on the phone line. I'm going to go to them as well. But what do you say to the people that say in this time? And I agree with what you're saying as far as if people want a job, they can actually get it. There's job that is actually paying more, but everything else is rising. And so I don't know if there's a balance there or not. But what do you say to the people that says, well, people are just lazy, man. They don't want to work. They don't want to work. I went to a restaurant. My wife and I went to a restaurant and and they told us straight. They said, be patient, man. We don't have a lot of people working tonight. with all and the person that was talking to say with all this stuff going on, there's free money. People don't want to work no more, man. They don't want to come to work, and so we're short-handed.
Well, people can make up whatever excuse they want to make up.
Mm-hmm.
That's not why the people not coming to work.
Mm-hmm.
The people probably not coming to work for several different reasons. One, the main one being that they're sick.
Mm.
That's why they probably not coming to work. That's why people stopped going to work
Mm-hmm.
because they were sick. Some of them are care providers for people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Things have changed. Some people have just simply died.
Mm.
That's why they're not at work.
So don't expect them to come.
Right. So this
Mm-hmm.
whole notion that people don't want to work, it's not your business whether or not people want to work or not.
Mm-hmm.
Provide jobs. People that want them will come get them.
There you go. Yeah.
Ain't nobody got to work for you.
Mm-hmm.
People work for you because they choose to.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason why you may not have nobody there is because you don't have desirable enough benefits for them to come work for you.
Wow. Wow. Toya with a T, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Hello, good morning, good morning.
Now, what do you say to that, Toya? This person said to me, my wife and I, we went out, we should have dinner. We went to the restaurant, and we was told, I can't say I was told, we was told to be patient because they're short-handed because people don't want to come to work. And they try to say that all this free money that they're getting, what reason they want to come to work anyway.
Money. Who's still getting free money?
That's what I'm wondering. Who getting free
Ain't
money?
nobody getting. Listen. Let me tell you something.
Mm-hmm. Talk to me.
When Corona hit,
Mm-hmm.
it showed us a lot of things with our ungrateful behinds.
Mm-hmm.
When our kids was in school, was complaining about the teachers, and God showed us through Corona, and it ain't the teachers, it's your kid. And we walk around and mumble and grumble about jobs all the time. And I'm talking about on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
The job market, they've been paying people what they was worth. We don't work because of money. We work because of the way you treat us. And these jobs ain't got no doggone better.
Mm-hmm.
You still can't follow the rules. You can't apply the rules. You still don't want to train us right. And now it's, oh, yeah, well, we can't find nobody. No, listen, the money still ain't enough. It's still not enough. Because you done scared us for a whole year talking about we going to die just by coming in within 6 feet of people.
Mm-hmm.
So now you're going to force me to come and work with all this stuff. It's still going on. It's still going on. When it was shut down last year, we couldn't work, and they had Corona, and we still got Corona, and you still won't go outside. It's not about that. But it is true. The market is struggling because you have abused us for so long. Y'all been terrible bosses for so long, terrible companies for so long, raggedy companies for so long, and still raggedy. And now we don't want to work for you. We rather start our own way. We rather die in the comfort of our own home trying to make it with making masks or something else. Doors that Corona opened when y'all shut down and took our jobs, and we noticed nothing. It doesn't matter. We can come and work every day. We can do this, we can do that, and we're still never going to get ahead. And some of us just simply woken up.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to come slave over that, over us, over you no more. They're still not treating people right. I'm in a place right now where, yes, it's very hard to get people to work. But I'm also working for a company that don't understand the value of people. So you're always going to have an issue if you're having favoritism. You're always going to have an issue if you want to work. They want to work.
I guess that means everybody is stuck. I see you, Mr. Tucson. Good morning, Goddess. How are you?
Good morning.
Good to see you. Tucson.
Yeah, I'm here.
You here? What you know good this morning, Goddess?
Man, look, I'm listening at the conversation,
Yeah.
and I know that among my little circle, we're offering $25 an hour,
Right.
and we still can't get nobody to come to work.
And a lot of people complain, but economic theory applies regardless of what's going on.
Right.
So this right now is a labor market for people who really want to make top dollar doing minimal things. Like, say, for instance, why would people who wait tables and depend on tips go to work if ain't nobody at the spot?
Right.
I mean, if ain't nobody there, they don't make no money. And because you don't want to pay them a decent wage, they have probably found other ways to make more money.
And people have a way of getting it done. Matter of fact, we know how to get it done.
Right.
Regardless. And so, and here's another thing, and I think Tanya was heading in that direction. If you don't treat me right, then I don't care how much you pay.
It doesn't matter. As soon as the gate open and the chain off, I'm gone.
I'm out.
What you think, Goddess? How is it where you're at?
I think that it's the same way here. But what I also think that is that they fail to realize there's a lot more of us that's awoken than people fail to realize. You know, what they fail to realize. And what they meant for harm turned out for good for us, for some of us. We starting our own businesses. We are doing so many things that are positive, and we're looking at life like, you know what? They can let us go at any time and any moment. And I still got to provide for mine.
That's right.
Mm.
And that's what's missing is when that has been my perception all the time, which I have kept me from getting bogged down with various jobs or what have you. I'm working solely for money. And I know you don't care nothing about me. The moment them receipts don't add up, you letting me go without any benefits, barely a 2-week notice. You'll shut it down and I'll be left out not knowing what's going to happen, and you won't be caring nothing about me.
My last job has been like about 3 or 4 years ago. Main job, I worked for C.H. Robinson Freight Quote. I was a freight broker. So you know I was making good money, right? I got sick. And I have the type of clientele that I work with. Nobody else wanted to work with them because I work with the elite. And one of my main thing is shipping fine furniture, like $10,000 and $20,000 couches, and you know, where you take a whole truck bed just for one couch. You know what I'm saying? So all my stuff was like fine furniture, and I'm doing hotels and yachts and stuff like that, along with homes. But my clientele, you not only got to do the shipment part, you got to do the white glove part, bring it in, and you know, so I was like top making money. Nobody wanted to work my clientele. So my boss never wanted to let me off. And I kept telling him, you need to get an understudy for me. You need to get an understudy. I almost died. I literally had to have emergency surgery. They took me from work straight into emergency surgery. You think they cared? No.
Wow. See, and that's definitely one of the downsides of working with somebody, because you're actually at their disposal. Cassandra, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning.
What do you think about that, man? They're saying that people don't want to work because of this quote unquote free money that the government has handicapped people and made them not want to work. Cassandra, what do you say to that?
Well, the perception is that especially Black people, we just lazy. We're lazy and shiftless. We don't want to work. We just want the government money, the government cheese, and you know, that's all. Mm-hmm. So that hasn't changed. My thing is, for now, the people that I'm talking to, the reason why a lot of them are not working, don't want to go back to a regular job, they're doing their own businesses and stuff, is because the risk factor is not worth it. Because if you pay me $7-10 an hour to be in the service industry and I get sick, who the heck gonna take care of my family?
Come on.
Because y'all ain't giving y'all ain't giving me no kind of incentive, nothing. So I'm out there putting my life on the line. Then secondly, a lot of the women can't get child care, and you know, it's crazy. but yet you trying to say that people are lazy. It has nothing to do with being lazy. That 0.2% that may be lazy that y'all talking about, you stop it.
Mm-hmm.
Stop it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Toussaint, you with us, sir? Talk. Unmute yourself. You muted. You muted, Toussaint.
I didn't want to see y'all watch me chew.
Yes, sir.
Anyway.
But what do you say about that, man? I heard you saying earlier, when we got disconnected, you were saying about, you all are paying X amount of money and people still don't want to work, and it wasn't a little small amount you was talking about. So why do you think people not wanting to go to work now? And is that the case?
No, I don't think it's the case, because they're working somewhere, even if they're working on their own.
Mm-hmm.
They just see people, and it's just as me, right? First of all, people don't like to, especially American citizens,
Mm-hmm.
don't feel like they should be told what to do.
Wow.
When to do it and how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
By the government.
Mm-hmm.
They would rather, and matter of fact, here, in the new corporate world, we have this diversity and inclusion where a person basically just has to show up
Mm-hmm.
for work. Don't have to work, just have to show up.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. There is no discipline that can be administered, because we're in this corporate, I don't know where it come from, but basically the employee dictates the mode and the pace of the work.
Mm-hmm.
When, where, how, and why I'm doing it. They want to know why do I do this? Why do I have to do this? Wait a minute. You just hit the clock. So anyway, when you need something done, basically you have to ask.
Mm-hmm.
And so they already know that they're shorthanded. Okay. Because everybody's not showing up for work.
Mm-hmm.
So then the rest that are left to do the job, you can only do so much. I mean, what are you going to do when you usually have 10 people and now you got 5? You're going to take the 5 and try to make 10, fulfill 10 jobs?
Mm-hmm.
That's not fair.
Yep.
So here's the people that are left that's trying to, at least I'm here. And then you trying to make me work a little faster. Well, guess what? I'm not coming in tomorrow.
I'm tired.
Mm-hmm. And so I watch myself because, and I'm going to shut up. I watch myself because you go to a restaurant, you go to a fast food place, you go through a drive-through, and it takes a while.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what do you expect? You're going to go raising sane with the ones that's left. At least they are at work. Now, you sure enough going to get some lousy service, because had you checked, you're getting lousy service now.
Mm-hmm.
I went to a place, and I said I was going to shut up. I'm shut up. Okay. I went to a place, and they are hiring gifted young people.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Because they will come to work. Now, what do you look like raising sane with somebody that's just trying to strain to think? I'm just saying.
Yes, sir. Lord Jesus.
They're too short to say. Wait.
He said,
I'm not.
mm-hmm. He said it. He said it.
Saying.
I'm not. Okay, I'm not.
Imagine, tell me about it.
I'm sleep deprived. I'm
Mhm.
sleep deprived. I can't right now.
You say
Cassandra,
strange thing.
but can't now think about it now. Just think about it. They are special needs people that are trying to do a normal person's job.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not necessarily normal, because they're normal too. They just have
Mm-hmm.
special needs.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then they are trying to keep up with the pace of society when they usually have problems, and I don't mean any harm with by saying this, tying their shoes.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
That's real.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me go to Mary. Good morning. How you doing this morning? Two thoughts.
Good morning. I'm doing all
Oh,
right.
that was
Good.
me.
Oh, okay. Good. Oh, that was bad. Okay, good deal. Mary, they're saying that people don't want to work and services being sacrificed because of this money that the government was giving away for a minute. They stopped giving it away, but they're saying that people just don't want to work now. Mary, what do you say to that? Do you think that's the case, or do you think
I
people,
mean,
huh?
realistically, who wants to work?
Mm-hmm.
Like, honestly, who wants to go to, whether you love what you do or not, there's going to be problems at every job. So who goes to bed and is like, man, I can't wait to get up and go to work in the morning, because I know I don't,
Mm-hmm.
personally. Like, and I don't love what I do, but I also don't want to go to work.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I just want to sit at home and relax, you know? So, but does it get boring sitting at home for too long? Of course it does. So, you know, them 4 walls start to close in after a while. So, I would never say that that's why people don't want to work. I didn't want to work before they gave me a check. So, you know,
Mm-hmm.
me personally, no, it didn't make me any more or less lazy. It was just free money. Cool, thank you. You know, like, I'm not gonna argue with it, but at the same time, I'm not gonna say that that's why I don't want to go to work. I don't want to go to work because I don't want to go to work.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
That's why I don't want to go. Not because of any
Plain and
money
simple.
that anybody gave me.
Yeah. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. Exactly.
Exactly.
Monique, good morning to you, young lady. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. How are you?
Hey, doing good, doing good. We're asking the question, man. What do you think the whole situation? And let me give the number before I do that. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Give us a call. We'd love to have your input. What do you think about that, Monique? You think people just don't want to work, or have the government made them lazy, or have people just open up their eyes to this whole system and how they're being played?
I think it's a combination of things, from COVID to even the hours, because like with my daughter, you know, she started working for Chick-fil-A, and she's like, oh, $15 an hour, Chick-fil-A.
Mm-hmm.
But she don't work that many hours. You know, granted she's in school, but they still, I don't know if you all noticed, but they even close earlier now.
Mm-hmm.
So I think some people are probably weighing the odds. You know, yeah, it might be $20 an hour, but when you look at it, it evens out to $8 an hour when you start looking at how many hours and how many days you work. Even though they might be short, they still only going to allow you to work so many hours.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking that people are probably, you know, weighing their odds, because even, you know, because that's how some people look at it. Oh, if I'm only going to make this amount, I don't even need to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's that, you know, as well as, you know, COVID. You know, my daughter started working her first week, she got COVID. And she went the whole time frame without even getting it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she was working at another job, less people, less foot traffic. But and then they told her, you know, she only had like 6, 7 days to recover. You know, the school told her that as well as the job.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so and she thinks that that's probably what happened or how she got it. Because these are young people. From teenagers to young adults. And and the ones that want to work, they're gonna do what those people are, telling them, to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's a combination of it.
Okay.
On why they don't want to work.
Okay.
And I believe between COVID and not that many hours.
Mm-hmm.
And then sometimes, those managers and supervisors are a little, a little different. Because, I've gone into some of those restaurants and the energy that, be coming off in some of the places. I don't even think I would want to work in those, kind of conditions,
Mm-hmm.
Especially when, you're already stressed about, COVID, and then a lot of them walking around with no mask on.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
It's a lot.
it's
There's a lot of layers. There's a lot of layers there. Badger, what do you say to that, man? Do you think people just don't want to work? Do you think the government have made them lazy with the stimulus money that they was giving out at one time? Or have people just really opened up their eyes to what is going on and how this system is playing them? What do you say to that, Badger? And good morning. How you doing this morning?
They're beautiful and blessed day.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. In a nutshell, looking back and seeing how everything goes, what was it in 2018, 19 minimum wage, at least here in Texas, was $8 and some change.
Mm-hmm.
And then they'd work people 30 hours a week so they didn't have to pay them full-time wages.
Mm-hmm.
And then expect them to be able to take care of their child or multiple children. So they'd have to go work 2 jobs, making $8 an hour, and then barely make about $1,000, $1,200 a month. And then COVID happened. A lot of people weren't able to work, or most people weren't able to work. And then stimulus checks came out, and it's like, oh, stimulus checks more than what I'm getting paid a month to take care of my family.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think there are lazy people. And then there are the people that went, wait a minute. I'm honestly not getting paid enough to do what I need to be for what I need to be doing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like minimum wage, you cannot pay for your own health insurance, your family's health insurance, and your housing and whatever cost you have for your housing.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not enough. And
Exactly.
I'm a penny pincher, so
Mm-hmm.
there ain't no way.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. And you're right. It's very difficult to do so. Charles, good morning. How you doing this morning? Hold on. There you go. Unmute yourself, Charles. There you go. Unmute. We both doing it at the same time. Unmute yourself. There you go. Right there.
There you go.
Okay. Charles, what do you think about this? Do you think people are just wising up, man? Do you think people are lazy, just don't want to work, or what is the situation? Had this stimulus money that they was giving away for a minute, has it made people lazy?
I think it's both, like Badger was saying, man. But a lot of people are lazy now. But I think it's both, man. Because if the government's giving you a certain amount of money, and and there's more money that you are making now, minimum wages in this area in Atlanta, I think most places are like close to $15 or $12, something like that. Most places. I'm not saying all. And most minimum wages jobs, I don't think people are trying to live off of. Right now they're doing a lot of different type of stimulus. They're giving more money for EBT in this area, which are probably everywhere. They're giving they're giving out a lot of stimulus to get people's rent paid in this area. They got programs around here for that. And I think a lot of people are lazy. I had seen a dude Yes, this weekend, me and my homeboy was going over here to Gutbusters to eat, and there was a cat out there look as healthier or healthier than me, you know, with a phone and everything, begging for money. Now, right down the street, they had help wanted everywhere. So these cats, man, why you begging? And you can walk right down the street and get a job. You know, this time of, you know, they're letting more felons, and right now also they're not being as crucial to people like felons and stuff like that with jobs and stuff. So, you know, it goes both ways. I think it's both things, man. I think it's both. Now, everybody's not lazy, but a lot of people are, and everybody, you know, out there, you know, it's not the same for everybody, but I think it's both ways, man. It goes both.
I don't mean to cut you off, Charles.
And I think
Hold
COVID
on, Badger. Go ahead, Charles.
I think COVID, you know, might have scared, because it's weird, you know, they're firing people for COVID and they're hiring other places, you know, it's weird. You know?
Exactly. And see that, and that's individual perspective is how they see it, because some people will say that people are lazy. Some people will say that they're just opening up their eyes and they're starting to see what is really going on. Badger, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I forgot we forgot, or at least I forgot to add a part that some people aren't even aware is happening right now. My wife was telling me that there are like nurses, depending on where you live and where you're working at, that are literally telling nurses that even if you have COVID, as long as it's light COVID, like it's not going to kill you COVID, I guess, or I guess that's a thing. They are demanding that they have to work.
Yep.
And some other businesses and stuff. And there are some places that you can't get a job unless you prove that you've taken the vaccine.
That's true too.
Yeah, exactly. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Are people lazy? Do they just not want to work? Or have they started opening up their eyes and started to seeing that there's possibilities? Well, I can start my own business, man. I could be an entrepreneur. I don't have to come and slave for you. I can make my own money. Rico, what's on your heart, brother? What do you say to that? And good morning. How you doing this morning?
Man, I can't complain, man. Grand rising and congratulations to everybody.
Likewise, sir. Talk to me.
I think we go through different ages or eras. And right now we're on the butt end of the industrial age. And the thing is the industry, the elite that own the industry, they're not going to prepare a landing pad for us. They're only going to make sure that they can keep their product moving. And the bottom line is their product isn't successful without human labor. But now they want to put robots in place. And somewhere we're going to be expendable. The people on the bottom have always been expendable. And so I think after a while, people start seeing a disparity in pay and poverty and access. And, you know, they see the dog eat dog mentality. And they think about, you know, I'm going to always go back to this because it always relates. This is what America is. It still sort of relates back to the slavery of indentured servant system. It has evolved. And so, you know, as you start realizing, you think about Walmart and you think about Amazon and all the billions of dollars and extravagance and luxury that everybody speaks on them about because of their wealth, you still have people complaining about paying insurance. These same people are responsible for these billionaires being on this list like this, being some of the richest people in the history of existence since they've been keeping up with monetary figures. These people. So now on the bottom line, you start thinking about, well, McDonald's say they got over 5 or 6 billion served. They probably moving close to $1 trillion. And they still only want to pay me $8 after I just cooked 100 hamburgers this hour. Sooner or later, you got to start thinking, you know what, I'm not getting paid my worth.
Come on.
So I think society is in a mental revolution right now. This is a time where people have to start realizing that you have to be self-sufficient and you have to get paid your value from your work and resources because we traded it out so long. It's been common practice for people to trade out their resources and their value to help benefit somebody else's product. And that person that has the product makes all the profit from it. They don't share it. So that's why you had some certain companies in the past that used to have profit sharing.
Yeah.
because they want to keep you happy. They knew, okay, man, and this is that we live in. People have got to be able to keep up with the cost of living. Like I just saw that gas is about to be up to $4 a gallon average.
Good Lord.
Average means that's average around the United States. Imagine having to catch a bus or drive 30 minutes or 25 miles away from where you work because the people near you aren't hiring. Which that is funny sometimes, because a lot of times people won't hire people that's close to them. It's so many different rules that people apply when they actually doing the hiring. But it can become expensive depending on how far you have to drive. Now, you're not making enough money. You got to drive 35, 40 miles because that's the only place hiring. Everybody within your vicinity is not hiring. And I know I'm speaking the truth about this because in the city that I live in, we have city workers that don't live in this city. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They live on the outskirts of the city, but you have people inside the city that could get these jobs. For some reason, they just can't get them. They walking around within the same city every day watching these white boys that live out in the country come down here and make this good money. So that means some of the people here have to go outside our city limits to get jobs. And you wouldn't believe how far some people around here drive to go to work. So sooner or later, you start putting that brain together and you start thinking of how you can provide a service, something of value within yourself that somebody can find or pay for. Even if it's giving advice, if you're a consultant, if you find yourself giving people advice, man, go to school and get your consultant degree or whatever, and open up a business doing that. You have to. We have to become more self-sufficient because we are at a time now where things are going to be repairing themselves. That industrial line that we was on, we ain't fixing to be on it no more. It's fixing to be robots.
Exactly.
So it's going to be a point you're going to have to end up. Sooner or later, you're gonna have to end up finding a way to come up with your own income anyway. So I think this is just a time that some people are waking up and subconsciously they're realizing that they're gonna have to do something because there ain't nobody paying them enough to be able to keep up with the Joneses.
Exactly. Cassandra, what do you say to that?
Hello?
Yes. What's on your heart, sis?
Did you say me?
Yes.
I'm a George Jetson thinker. I think that we're heading, just like Rico just said, I think we're heading to that point where people are already not coming out to buy groceries. They're ordering everything that they need on Amazon or eBay or whoever. And Federal Express and UPS is dropping it off right at their door. They're going to have, they already have the, what do you call it? The little plane things.
The drones.
The control remotely.
Yeah, the drones.
What do you call it?
The drones. The drones.
Drones. Yeah. The drones are now dropping off packages at the house. So just like Rico said, it's going to come a time, I believe, and especially if we keep getting these viruses that are spreading and killing people at large rates, which I believe we possibly can continue to do. And if that gets worse, people are not going to leave their houses to work or do any dang thing else. Everything is going to be done from your computer, your cell phone. And I don't think that's a thing of being lazy. I think that's what is happening in our society as a whole.
Wow, that's good. Leonard, talk to me, brother.
Well, I'm like sort of like Miss Cassandra. It's just another change. I've never been tied into work that way where I would complain about it because I've never been without employment. And I follow the herd. Where the money go, I go. I don't make too much fuss because one, I have to maintain my freedom. And too many people get caught up in these jobs. And even as a corporate manager, I used to try to motivate people to, okay, I know you're here to pay the bills, but what are you doing for yourself? With all these free education benefits and everything out here, why are you not utilizing those? You think this is going to be here forever? Look at what happens when one of you gets sick. You've been served this company 20 years, get cancer, and they'll fire you for being late 2 days.
Exactly.
These people care nothing about you, and they never have. So you should have always been working on other things just in case. See, when you get to telling people you don't need an education, you don't need to go to school, and then they start relying on jobs that anybody can do, you're expendable. That's why you're so expendable, because you don't have any specialized skills. We're moving into we're in an information age. Those people who are able to read, write, and process information and intellectual property are going to be okay. But those that didn't want to do nothing but work on an assembly line, it's going to be rough because of the technology, improvement in technology. And you're always a liability to the job. You're a liability because they have to pay you.
Yeah.
And they're always working on ways to pay you less and to use less of you. So one, this notion that you ever should have been loyal to a job is just not the best, not the best attitude to have. You go to work for you. What has happened is people has realized, I don't need to come to your restaurant. I don't need all these extra luxuries. You got 15, 20 restaurants back to back. Who really needs all those restaurants? No one.
Yep. Exactly.
So this exploitation of capitalism is what you're seeing now is crushing, because it was so huge. The economy was so huge, and you had so many alternatives. And that's what should have brought prices down and things like this. People say, well, prices keep going up. You know how they'll go down? Stop purchasing. And they'll go right back down.
Yep.
Some of y'all should have been like, how many times you gonna go to the store and ain't no bread before you start saying to yourself, I might need to start making my own bread. I mean, really. You mad because the restaurant ain't open? Take your butt home and cook.
Yep.
You don't need to go to no restaurant to eat.
Come on.
People ain't stopped spending money on entertainment. You talking about jobs, and people still buying bottles. Stop it. They're trying to paint a picture to you of gloom and doom. That's what they're trying to do. But one, poor people have always found a way.
Yeah.
Now, all these rich people can jump out of all these high rises. I could care less. But poor people been poor people. Poor people, struggling people been struggling people. They just move from one thing to the next. And if you one of them type of people that take advantage of situations, you making good money right now. You don't care nothing about what they say. You wearing your mask anyway. You taking care of yourself anyway. And you going out here getting what you got to get. So long live capitalism.
Come on. Good deal.
Because all it is cyclic.
This is Toy with the T, talk to me.
Yeah, no, I agree with Leonard, right? So first of all, who's getting all this money, right? Second of all, a lot of the people that's not even working, they get checks, are talking about the ones who receiving the money. Promise you the ones that's receiving the money, not talking about themselves. So the people receiving the checks, for whatever reason, whether you're retired, whether you're diagnosed something, or whatever. Why are you not getting up working? Right? So, one person, I don't know about everybody else, but the reason why I got enough money is because it was entitled to me. Because I worked hard for all of these years. And when something came to interfere with that, I was afforded the opportunity for them to give me back some of the things that I've earned by working. They never did. So, you're a person who hasn't received it. I think it's totally unfair for you to be sitting somewhere on your butt collecting any kind of check from the same government that's giving you a check, talking about the rest of us got a check. Now, I'm with Leonard. So you're trying to paint this perception of no jobs, but we're out here working. And like Leonard said, so what is it, the old rich white people that don't have the jobs? Because it seems like we're still out here struggling. What are we doing if we don't have jobs, right? What are we doing? Where are we?
Some of us have been cheated out of it, squandered out of it, and there's a whole bunch of other things we talk about on a daily basis that got to contribute to why we're not working, right? Let's talk about the young lady who talked about Chick-fil-A, which is a very good company, right? But I'm here to tell you, before Corona, if you come work for me and you're someone in school, I'm not going to give you a bunch of hours because you need to focus on school. There's no way in the world. I'm a grown 44-year-old woman that works a full-time job and still in college, and it is hard. It is very hard. So I would never give a person in school. I had an older lady who was 50 in college, and the same rules apply, young lady. I need to see your report card. And if you get a C, I need to take a day off your schedule because the goal should not be to work your life away to work for someone else. You're investing in your education for a reason. You understand what I'm saying? So we got to kind of come to a certain level of understanding. And I feel like in America, we just used to complaining. Anything that don't
all the time,
we used to complain and say something about it. But we should be grateful for where I'm at today. And I'm back in the job market now. Noticing that these buzzers ain't changed. You still hiring people that don't care. So let's talk about the energy, like the young lady said, the energy where some places don't want to work. We just, certain things Corona showed us, we're just not going to deal with. We're not going to deal with disrespect. Life is too short. We're not going to work a deadbeat job because no matter what you do, something like Corona can come and take it away. It's not about dying. They used to work us to death. They used to work us when we were sick with the flu and you were still sneeze and it was still contagious. They didn't care. They wanted you to come to work. And you know what? A lot of these jobs still don't care if you got Corona. You know right now that some of these people that's coughing could have Corona. And you know what some of these people still want them to do? Come to work. Let me talk about some of us that might think that we have Corona. But we so scary. We so out of touch. We so unreal. Just walking around, oh, no, it ain't that. I got to take a test. Well, why don't you just stay home to keep people protected? You know what I'm saying? So it's always a double standard of us being ungrateful on the position that we are, whether it's the us or the them. But at the end of the day, each individual has to do what's best for them. And personally, for me, I am a leader. And it's not about working for anyone else. And some people are followers. And it's not about working as a leader. So we can't be wanting one life for someone who don't even want the life that you want for them. Just focus on your own. Do what you got to do. Don't worry about them getting money. Worry about your money, your family, and let's keep it moving. Because right now, it's a lot of catch-22s, and we always talking conversations about people. We don't even have friends with some of these people that we're talking about. We're just talking about it from the rhetoric that's showing on TV. And that's not fair. Don't do that. Know some people first. Know the truth first before you start listening to someone on TV saying, "Oh, well, they're not working." Who not? The one who was making $100,000? I guarantee you, they're not going to work for $8 an hour, or 15, or 20. So come on with the joke. Get up on my people. And when I say my people, I mean those of us that's out here running this country. Those that's working these flat jobs that y'all don't want to work. I mean, I'm just saying, you got to lay up off with the people that's really getting it done.
And also, Raheem, I want to add, like to what she just said, for people to notice. Notice this about yourselves and the people around you and people you have conversations with. Why y'all so worried about Massa? Why y'all look at him as doing the right thing and you are doing the wrong thing? Why would you sit here and characterize people as lazy? When was the last time he was at work? You ain't call him lazy. He getting money from the government that he's supposed to be using for the abatement of what's going on with the business. He don't kept the money, ain't gave you nothing extra, and he has shut that business down first because he got more money. So stop calling people lazy. That's what slaves do to other slaves.
Get
508 that out of your mindset.
508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Give us a call. What do you think about this whole situation, man? Are people lazy, or have they just opened up their eyes? Do they want to work? Curtis, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. How y'all doing, man?
Hey, doing good. Hey, doing good. Kurt, what's on your heart, brother? What do you say to that, man? People don't want to work. Has the stimulus money made them lazy, or are people just really opening up their eyes and seeing that, hold on, this system ain't working for me, man? Y'all getting all the money, and I'm getting these little crumbs, man, and I can't feed my family with no crumbs. Talk to me, Curtis.
man. Ain't no but folk ain't being lazy not today. Folk ain't being lazy.
People
That's a
hustling.
very marginal few. That's a marginal few, right? But once again, I'm gonna say it. You know what I mean? Because I coined the phrase, but I'm gonna say it, and I wound up hearing it come out of a congressman's mouth the other day. Blew my mind. He switched it up a little bit. Actually, came out the president's mouth. It blew my mind, but he switched it up a little bit. Man, capitalism without a conscience is corruption. I don't care how you flip it. I'll give you a prime example of corruption. All right. Do y'all remember back here when the PPP, what is it called? PPE?
The PPP loan, yeah. The PPP loan,
Okay. Do you remember all those companies, Ruth Chris, all those companies went for that money, right?
Yes.
One of the companies that they really,
She's saying got it.
Got it. Oh, absolutely. One of the companies that really went for that money is a wealthy hotel tycoon who was really good friends with people in high places. He got $9.1 billion. Now, we all know the PPP money, PPE money, was for businesses to sustain their employee staff. So basically, if you had to shut down, you had to still pay. You got the money so that you could still pay your employees, right? Do you know that this dude took the money, put the money in a bank account? Remember, you had to utilize that money in 2 years. And then after 2 years, you show your receipts and you didn't have to pay it back. But if you didn't utilize the money for what the money was given, then you had to pay it back. Well, how about this dude jumped and got the money, didn't pay none of his employees, laid a bunch of folk off because of, the pandemic or whatever. He put the money in a bank, and you know what he said? I give it back to him 2 years from now.
Thank you.
He had enough money, because he's a tycoon, he had enough money that, guess what? He probably could have gave them their money back right then and there. But no, the loophole was, guess what? I can keep this money in this account for 2 years. I ain't never got to touch it. It's $9.1 billion. So guess what? It's going to make so much interest. When I paid them back the $9.1 billion, I still made a bunch of money.
Yeah.
That was approved. A lot of us go with the, we reminded of the tax cut. The tax cut that came out for the wealthiest 1% in America. But nobody followed the money. Okay, tax cut was $3 billion, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
There was $1.5 billion cut from Medicare, Medicaid, and there was $1.5 billion cut from Social Security. 1.5 and 1.5 gives you how much, Raheem?
They give you 3. Yeah. Huh?
It's 3.
Yeah, they give you 3. Yeah.
1.5 and 1.5 is 3.
Yeah.
So people didn't follow the money. And I just, and what I'm saying with this, there's a website, if y'all ever get the chance to listen to, and I know Leonard probably, L-Dog, I know he listens to it all the time. A lot of people, especially a lot of black folk, don't listen to NPR. But NPR is pretty much straight down the middle for the most part, right? And if you listen to NPR, every once in a while, in the morning, they have a show just like this show, where anybody from America can call in. Sometimes they have guests. Well, a guy called in, and he was questioning where NPR was getting their numbers from when they was talking in terms of these congressmen and senators getting these donations. So the host said, hold on, I'm sorry, sir, but we fact check all of our information through secretdonors.com or .org. But if you listen to NPR, they'll give it out every once in a while to tell you where they're getting their numbers from. Well, me and my lady, we went on the website and I'm just gonna tell y'all the truth. My mouth hit the floor. My mouth literally, and you know, I'm when it comes down to politics, I have a lot to say. Raheem, my brothers and sisters, if y'all could see what's being put on the table, Leonard says it all the time. You gotta vote. You gotta vote, because right now the dollar is outweighing your vote.
Yes, sir.
If you could see what these senators is, and I think I sent it to you. I sent you something one time that would have been real nice for you to bring to the fold. When y'all that other side of the house that was running against Warnock and the other dude, I can't remember his name.
Oh, so
I sent you a layout of who was donating to what, you know, like which major companies was donating to those two candidates, Purdue and y'all know who I'm talking about, the lady that owned the Atlanta.
Yeah, Loeffler.
Y'all know who I'm talking about, the lady that owned the basketball team.
Yeah. Leonard said
and that
Loeffler.
other guy who was the Sons of the Confederacy guy. So I actually tracked it down by bipartisan group. I actually tracked it down through the Lincoln. What's that movement they got that I like it actually? The Lincoln Project.
Yes.
And yeah, I'm done, bro. If you could see the money that these folks is getting, it is a travesty. It is criminal.
Now we are, and I definitely want to encourage some excellent information out there. I would love to be able to give them more time. We got a lot of people here, so I'm going to be respectful of everybody's time. So let's keep our comments within that 3-minute window, so I can actually be able to move around and touch as many people as I can in the time that we have here. Rico, what's on your heart, brother?
Yeah, but I think, you know, like I said, I believe people are waking up to that model. Now, don't get me wrong. It is some people out there being lazy. Don't get me wrong. It is. There's always somebody trying to find a way to get something for free. They lying at income tax season. You know what I'm saying? They making up. They pretending they got businesses. I mean, man, it's people going to jail for fraud all the time. You know, on the upper and lower level. So I mean, yeah, it's some people out there being lazy. You know, it might be on the minimum, but at the same time, you know, I don't think people are really. I'm gonna say they really not working to work. They're working to survive. And see, you know, you have this dynamic that comes up. Well, people are accused of being lazy because that mindset comes from the shiftless nigga mindset. You know, and that mindset came from a woman being pregnant and just having a baby and still being, you know, not even being healed well and not in that slave field, but if she was complaining or sick, she was shiftless. So that man was shiftless. So that mindset still is there in the work system, and that employee-employer work system, that dynamic, that mindset still exists. So that's why it's so easy for people in corporate America, even NBA CEOs and NFL CEOs, to actually look at their employees as investments.
Yeah.
So now we'll say, well, that NFL player got a lot of nerve to equate being a slave and he making millions of dollars. Man, the Clippers, Chris Paul, them got a documentary that did, and you don't see it too much talking about Donald Sterling and how they realized that the way that he felt about paying them good money and being able to buy the parents' homes and cars, but still not wanting them in their vicinity, that they were still looked at as slaves or less than. They were still under his control. He made them come to a function at one of his mansions. He said when they got there, they were told to wear all black, so they wore all black. After they got there, they started feeling like the help because the people that were serving the drinks and everything was wearing black too. Everybody else that was wearing all white, and they were all white. And they were just taking pictures and standing up to him and rubbing on their arms and just, you know, it was like a zoo exhibit. Wow. And then he said he started listening to the way they was talking. This is Chris Paul talking now. The head of the NBA union, players union.
Yeah, yeah.
He said that they realized they were pieces of meat. Even though they made $20 and $30 million a year, man, these people get paid big money. And they still felt like pieces of meat on the auction block.
Exactly.
At this man's mansion, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you know, that dynamic still exists. What it boils down to is appreciation. Employers need to appreciate employees more, but people are waking up and understanding that they are unappreciated. They are realizing they are expendable. And little by little, the conspiracy theorists told us that we were going to be replaced by robots. But we still fell for the paperwork that we signed that told us about the long-term benefits for being with this company. What you can get after 50 years, 20 years for your pension, for your retirement, what we'll cover for your insurance. We'll do this for your family. They give you all these benefits. So you start looking at, you know what, benefits.
Exactly. Exactly.
But at the same time, if a tornado coming through here and they tell us to evacuate, you better stay on this job, because if that tornado don't hit here and you left, you're fired.
You're fired. You ain't got nothing to come back to.
Nobody want to leave because they need that job.
Tucson, what's on your heart?
To survive.
Exactly. Exactly. Tucson, what's on your heart, brother?
I think that I can retire. I can get used to what I'm doing right now. Because you know, I'm go back to what Mary said. And you did a wonderful job, you and your wife, Raheem, because that's a smart young lady. Because I don't want to work, never did like to work. Who likes to work when you know that all you have to do is do one thing, and the very thing that you think that you're so important, you're the one to do it. Don't show up and see if it don't get done. I have access to everything that's going on right now, and I'm at home. It's going right along. Because let me tell you something. It ain't my company. Sure ain't. Never have been.
Yeah.
So I remember when a guy, he really thought, I guess he thought he was important. But before he could get, how do you say that? He was still, his blood wasn't, had to cool off a little bit. And they had somebody sitting in his desk. Clearing it out. Let me tell you something. I don't know about anybody else, but I don't like to work. I have to work. I have to do something to survive.
Yeah.
And I will do that. But right now, why I'm sitting at home, you know that Corona is real. It's real.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, I believe it. I believed it before, and I'm gonna just go ahead and tell you, I took the first, the second, and the booster, and I still got it.
Wow.
Wear my mask. I don't go around folks. I don't invite people to my house. I don't go to theirs. But I'm sitting at home.
Yeah.
Waiting it out.
Wow.
But I'm saying all of this to say this. It don't bother me to be at home. Because you know what? I'm making money right now.
Yeah. Still getting paid.
So here.
Exactly. Goddess, what's on your heart, sis? I'm sorry. Go ahead,
No. You know my name ain't Badger.
I know, man. I know.
Badger do the research.
What you do?
I just run my mouth.
Goddess, what's on your heart, sis?
Uh, I think that some of the things that we need to look at, just going based off all the conversations that I've heard, and they were totally on point. Um, the fact that we have never, ever been lazy. And our people have never been lazy. We probably got more lazy ones now, but our history of people have never been lazy. And it just seems like when they say certain people, I don't know, it feels like they're referring to more of the dark skinned folks. So that kind of bothers me when I hear that every time. But one thing I wanted to bring forth is that when they do this COVID thing, and they're have doctors and nurses that are refusing to do the jab, but it's based off of, and it's more or less of them trying to take our freedom and our right to choose for our bodies. And when you have to determine the right to choose for our bodies regarding a job, then it's going to always be my body all the time. But you got certain people that are making other choices, and that's fine. That they're some nurses, a lot of nurses and doctors are walking off their job, and they went to school for all these years. Actually, it's over 16,000 doctors that are walking off their jobs because they're not going to take that fabulous thing. So it's like we're sitting here looking at something that we need to try to understand. Where do we continue to go from here? Do we continue to be like sheep and cattle? Or do we continue to start finding out more information and getting into detail?
Wow.
What they're doing is not working. And if they see that Fauci's on trial under gain and function. So are they trying to lead us into a certain thing? A lot of people don't even know. We all trying to do healthy. Everybody's trying to grow healthy and eat healthy. Are they paying attention that Bill Gates just turned around and bought into Beyond Meat? For those that are going plant-based, they're not paying attention to the Kentucky Fried Chicken bringing in plant-based chicken now, and he's the corporate of it. So everybody got to start paying attention, start looking at some of the small things because they're not always small.
And you said something. You said that what are they trying to lead us to? And the other side of that coin is what are they trying to lead us away from? You know, that could be
true.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely. Let me see. Let me go to Badger. I hadn't spoken to Badger in a minute. Badger, what's on your heart, brother?
Oh, researching as always, man.
You
know, just looking up the, contributors and things like that, and who they are, and where they're from, and it's pretty wild. Some of the people that are out there, like $10 million just given to Ohio to make sure certain people were elected. They did protect Ohio values, and he literally contributed $10 million for the election over there. And then there's the Arizona one, then there's the Oracle Corporation. It's a lot of money. And I'm just sitting here going, wow. Some of us, if we had that much money, some of our communities would be a lot better off right now.
Absolutely.
But instead, it seems like it goes to these politicians and stuff like that that are making these laws that are going to decide our future. So, as far as like legal things go, so it's something I think people absolutely need to be looking into, because this is something I actually know a lot about, and I know what it's possible to look this stuff up. And everything in this country centers around money. It really does.
Yeah.
And whoever pays the senator, the House, the most money is probably going to be the way they vote. Actually, it's probably almost a guaranteed they're going to vote that way. So we either need to raise a whole bunch of money to make them vote the way we want them to vote, or we need to get those corrupt people out of their seats.
Absolutely. 508-924-3521. The number is 508-924-3521. Give us a call. Let us know what you think about this thing. Cassandra, what's on your heart right now?
I'm not upset about not being able to work like I used to, like a Hebrew slave with 2 jobs and going to school and all that stuff that I was doing, trying to just make ends meet. I'm not really that upset, and I ain't living off of, well, I have my retirement, which I worked for and paid into. So that little bit of money is what I basically live off of, and I'm okay with that. And especially the way that things are right now, I'm good with that. I ain't hating on nobody that want to work from home. I'm not hating on anybody that want to start their own businesses. I'm talking about when I say work from home, you're working for a company from your home, or if you started your own business, do what is going to be best for you. I really don't want to be going on these jobs with the way that this COVID thing is right now. I declare, and I love doing movies, but I've turned down several in the last month because I'm not risking my life for any amount of money.
Exactly. Mary, what's on your heart? Mary?
I'm here. I'm just listening now.
Okay. Rico, talk to me, brother.
Yeah, I think, we have been too dependent. Like I was saying a little earlier, we got brainwashed, when we got into that work atmosphere, you get told about the teamwork thing and company first, and people get to the point to where they, they benefit from these jobs. So they buy into it. It provides the income, it provides the homes, it pays the bills, and I mean, why not enjoy going to work? But the thing is then it gets to a point where they still drift away from working for themselves. Like Donald said a second ago, you working for this other man's company. There was a lot of people before you came through them doors, and a lot of people after you gonna go out those doors. This company's still gonna be here. Even in the NFL with a football player, once you retire, that team's still gonna make money off of your jersey and your name. Way after you gone, look, Mean Joe Green still getting, the Pittsburgh Steelers organization and the family that own it, they making money off of Mean Joe Green right now.
Yes, sir.
Mean Joe Green ain't making money like they're making off of his name. So you start realizing that you're just a piece of that puzzle, and so you have to start realizing that you have to find a way to benefit from your own self-worth. You have to be able to be self-sufficient. I'm thinking about, like, right now, if somebody decided they wanted to go and plant a garden, they wouldn't be able to get seeds off of what they planted. They would have to go back and rely on buying it from another corporation that provides the seeds now. They put us in a situation where we are dependent. We can't, to a certain extent, we allowed ourselves to not be self-sufficient. We made ourselves dependent because we bought into this industrial age. It was convenient to be able to not have to figure out how you can go make money, but somebody could just pay you to do a job for them. And then they're going to give you a few benefits. But now, like I said, I think people are waking up, and it's very, I think it's a good thing that people are waking up. People are being entrepreneurs, working from home, contracting themselves out. That's what I call it. That's what I really call contracting yourself out. If you're going to work for somebody, make sure you still get a good deal out of that bargain, because that's what it really should be. That's why labor unions exist. But, we really have to be mindful of the fact that we got to make sure that we don't make that job our livelihood, or that our livelihood depends on this job. Some people go to these jobs and they work 10 hours a day, 7 days a week, avoiding their families. They don't even really have a relationship with the family the way they should, because when they get home, they're too tired. So, it's something that we have to always be mindful of, to get back to being self-sufficient. I think to a certain extent, subconsciously, we're getting to that point where we're finding ways to be resourceful on our own.
And we need to, and we definitely need to. Toy, you want to talk to me? Got another caller. I'm coming to you next. Toya, you there?
I'm sorry, you say Toya?
Yes, ma'am.
I am here. Yes, I am. Hey, good morning again. So listen, it's funny how we always have these conversations every day, but for some reason we don't never. Nothing never like matriculates. That's all it is a conversation. Because the world, we didn't have these conversations in the world and had a corona and left again, right? The same dangers, as far as I'm concerned, the same dangers in the world. We make it seem like corona was the end all be all, but every day we walked out of our houses, we weren't promised to make it back home. That was the rhetoric before corona, and it was like, since corona came, now we're not promised to be at home and live. So now, we're scared. Someone said it earlier, and that's why I feel like it's brainwashed. You know what I mean? Because, okay, so I didn't take the vaccine and got corona, and I did take the vaccine and booster and got corona. So, what's the difference? Where do we go now? And at the end of the day, I don't knock anybody for anything, but I do what God told me.
Yes.
And I know that I live because of God, not a vaccine.
Come on.
I know that I wake up every day and make it out and make it home. And I had corona twice in the beginning. Y'all remember the beginning when we didn't know what it was?
Yeah.
Before there was a vaccine? And I'm living before God. I was sick before corona. And you know why I'm alive? Not because of the hospitals, because they said I didn't have insurance. All these laws and rules they set up that you got to have, that they've been doing for Black people. It's like only when Black people got free, you got to have this, you got to have that. Oh, you got this, well, you got to have that. So I'm alive because of God, because the hospital sent me home. They said I didn't have the proper qualification that they need. When you need qualification to save a life, tell me that.
Come on.
So I'm supposed to listen to these same people about a shot? No, my God is why I live.
See it.
And the Bible says that some people will face life and it chase death, and it will not come to them. And some of us will chase life, and only death will come to us. Because I think we're getting off here that you're going to live because of a shot. No, I promise you get the shot today. If God wants you tomorrow, you know where you're going. So let's get all the way back on track, right? I have a job because of my God. I live and I enjoy the abundance of my life from the choices and decisions I make and my God. And don't you know Dr. Fauci has nothing to do with that?
Come on.
Don't you know the CDC has nothing to do with that? Don't you know that President Joe Biden has nothing to do with what my God said? So when I hear someone say brainwash, and I hear people talk about, the government give and shall take it away, that lets me know that we're replacing God with our government. And that's why we're having all these issues. That's why we're having these issues. Because everything is everybody else's stuff but the main creator, the main maker. And we keep giving this power and dominion to a group of people that supposedly X amount of years ago enslaved us and beat us. And now it's supposed to be right. Like, with the jokes. I just can't. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like this. Whatever God tells you to do, you do what God tells you to do, whether it's take the vaccine or not. If God tells you to work a job or leave your job, listen to me. 4 years before Corona, God hollered at me, quit that job, girl. You want to do something bigger and better. You know how much of a struggle that was? I'm like, no, that's the devil. Lord, I've been working 20 years to make this kind of money. But that was him in my bone. You know how many people I told that? You know, no matter what job I worked, it would not work because he said no.
Yep.
And now he got me another journey, opening a food truck, and I'm not getting there yet. But I feel like at the end of the day, stop listening to everybody. You better get in the corner and get with your God and see what he tell you to do. See what he wants you to do. Because at the end of the day, if he tell you to take a vaccine or not, trust and believe he going to tell you that other road that's around the corner, whether you're going to be on life support, where you better hold on for the ride because you're not going to make it, or just stand firm and believe in me because some trials and tribulations. Whatever he tell you, you better be listening and be ready for the ride.
Exactly. Got another caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from? 773 area code. 773 area code. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hi, Raheem. This is Willa Brown. How are you this morning?
Hey, Willa, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing good.
Good.
I just wanted to comment about the work part. I worked for M&M Mars for 30 years. The candy factory.
Yes.
I worked there 30 years and I retired 2019. And when I got the job, I started at the job making $5.02. When I left that job, I was making $27 and a few change. Not only that, I had a 401k, I had pension, I had great insurance. So I heard the young man when he was talking about how companies brainwash you. But let me say this too. As long as I worked there, I got bonuses based on the company. Now, when I went into that job, I knew what I was going into. I signed into that job. So whenever you sign into a job, you already know what you're going into or don't go into it. One thing about my job, I love going to work. You know why? Because every time I went to work, it didn't feel like work. So I'm just saying this, man don't work, man don't eat.
Yeah.
So whether you choose to run your own business or work for somebody else, there's a benefit, cause and effect behind everything in this life. Today I'm retired. I get a pension over $6,000 a month, Social Security, and a great insurance. So all I'm saying is to work for some people is great. To work for others, maybe not. But it has to depend on you and your choices. You know, whether you want to own, somebody got to do the work. Everybody can't be a leader.
Yeah.
So, you know, these young people need to be taught today. They don't want to work, but they'll buy a pair of gym shoes for $1,000. They'll wait for what's his name, Keyon West or Michael Jordan to come out with another pair of gym shoes. And they'll stand in the line $500 when they won't even go to school. So our work ethic should be taught to our children. You know, we lost it somewhere within that area. And I'm always going to talk about the generation. That's my comment.
Good deal. And you got some passion in that comment too there, sister. You got some passion in there. Yes, Lord.
Yeah, that's why I might need to respond to it, because ain't nobody, I mean, see, this is the thing about it. There's a pro and a con to everything. In some situations, it did work out a benefit. You know, I got a friend right now. He worked his way up to the top of the Lay's company. You know, so in some cases, you know, if everything lines up right and you work hard enough, yeah, you know, that can happen. But then you have a lot of factors that happens in life with other people that go to the side. I'm pretty sure everybody that started where she started at didn't finish with her. I'm pretty sure everybody that went through that door with her didn't leave on good terms or felt like they left and it was fair. They were probably terminated. Maybe they were pushed out the door because somebody didn't like them. You know, there's so many different reasons why everybody's story isn't going to line up the same. So what I'm speaking on is behalf of those people that do get caught up in that job, but then that job is the only thing that they have. Now, if you have that same mindset and this job can replace you with robots, you got to depend on something else to survive.
Yeah, Exactly.
Lay's and M&M's ain't got a 401k for you when that robot take your place.
Mm-hmm.
See, this industrial age is coming to an end. So it's not a knock. But what I'm saying is those benefits which are beneficial.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt about that, they're beneficial. It also keeps you lined up to where you are sort of dedicated to that company.
Mm-hmm.
And you do know what you sign up for. So you say to yourself, well, you know what, man, I'm going to become a company person because I want to reach these goals that they set for me down the line, what they told me I could achieve in 25 or 30 years, and these bonuses. I mean, like right now, working at Honda and Mercedes down here is great. But these same people, if these robots keep moving them out, they got to depend on something else.
Exactly. And we're going to go to our topic for the day, man. But I don't know why this story here came to my heart, man. You know, sometimes even if you're trying to do the right thing on a job, you got other elements in there that's trying to knock you down, man, and pull you down.
Too many.
Yeah.
Too many.
When I lived in Columbia, South Carolina. I'm gonna tell this quick story. Then we're gonna move on to our topic for the day. I got a little part-time job at Walmart. I work my regular job, and I got the little part-time job, make a little extra money and stuff like that. And it was a demolition. They were doing demolitions. They was tearing stuff down and rebuilding it inside the store. The store manager came to me, and I was working. It was like nighttime. It was late at night when they did that, and I was in there working. I had been there for a couple of about a month and a half, 2 months, and he came to me and everything. He said, man, I think we're gonna offer you a job if you want. We'll offer you a regular job, blah blah blah. He didn't know I had my regular job already. He didn't know all that. But a guy that was working with me, black guy, he heard the conversation. The next night, man, me and him moving. You had the big crates and carts that we put stuff on. And we stacked this up on and pushed it out to the back. And we was pushing it down the aisle. This dude dropped. He dropped money on the floor. And I don't know where he got the money from, but he dropped money on the floor. And the way that he dropped the money, I had to pass over the money because he was pushing and was going in that direction. So he dropped it. And as I was pushing, the money was on the floor. I looked down and I saw it. I said, "Oh man, look at here!" And it was about $200. I said, "Man, somebody dropped some money." He said, "Oh man, what you gonna do with it, man? Look, we can split that, blah 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 blah." Trying to set me up, Rico. Trying to set me up. I went up to the front. I said, "Hey," went to the manager of the store. I said, "Look here, somebody dropped some." Well, it was the assistant manager. The manager was off. I said, "Look, somebody dropped some money on the floor." He said, "Oh man, that's a lot of money." He said, "You turning it in?" I said, "Yeah, man. It's not mine." I said, "It's not mine. I'm turning it in. Hopefully you'll find who it belonged to." He looked at the guy that was the black guy. He looked at him and like, "Man, you effed up, man." He didn't take the bait. Rico, they trying to set me up, bro. Trying to set me up. You know what I mean? I didn't think about it back then, but like I said, stuff like that happens all the time, man. You trying to do the right thing, and then here comes somebody else. Sometimes it's just they look like you, and they'll try to set you up, man. Listen, anybody want to say anything to that, man? Before we move on, we're going to go to our topic for today.
Yep, they will try to set you up, boy. If they don't like you, they're going to find a way to put you out. How about this? As a girl, it's always been a sexual harassment when it comes to men, right?
Mm-hmm.
And do you believe when you don't socialize? I'm not a socializer. I work too hard to socialize. And the first time you touch me, I'm not working, and I still need to run that check, period.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't play them games. But yes, because I wasn't a sociable person, I work a lot of hours, and I don't go out with them. Oh yeah, everything was an issue. They started stealing food.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just all kind of different things. People were stealing, and then I'm like, yo, what's going on? And it took a while, but a couple of years later, some employees started to tell me, hey, this, that, and the third, this, that, and the third, because of this, that, and the third. So it's true. The way people are, it's not just a street thing.
Mm-hmm.
People just not grinding on the street. They're like that in government. They're like that in jobs, and they're even like that in family. So watch what you're doing. And again, you better make sure you're doing what God tell you to do, because trust and believe, if you're doing what God tell you to do, He's going to tell you the who, the what, the when, the why, and where to look out, and when to duck. So I hope we're doing the right thing.
Exactly. Now, our topic for today, Cassandra, I'm going to come to you first with the topic. Cassandra, you there? Cassandra?
I'm here.
Okay. Our topic for the day is and I'm gonna let y'all go where y'all want to go with it, man. I'm gonna put it out there and let y'all handle it. In this thing called life, what happens when everything that you do, it surrounds one thing, and all you see is pain? What happens when all you see is pain in your own life and everything that's around you, in all your existence? All you see is pain. How does one deal with that, Cassandra? And I want to talk to you from the Cassandra and the counselor side, because I know you've seen people that deal with situations like this. So what do you say to that?
Raheem, you were breaking up. I heard you say something about pain. That's it.
What happens when all you see is pain?
Oh, okay. See, this is when you have to decide where your spirituality is.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've been there. I know what it is that every time you turn around, it seems like, life is punching you in the face. I ain't even talking about slapping you upside the head. I'm talking about punching you in your face, your nose bleeding, everything. I've been there before, and I know that the only thing that sustained me was my relationship with God, my intimate relationship with God. And for many of us, that's the only thing. Whatever our spiritual place is, or whoever it is that we serve, that is the thing that keeps us going, because I would not have made it through the pain, whether it was physical, emotional, or spiritual. I would not have made it had I not had an intimate relationship with God, and that's even right now.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Willa, coming to you, what do you say to that? What happens when all you see is pain? When all you see is pain, what's on your heart, sis?
I definitely agree with her, because it depends on where your life is as far as spiritually now. I mean, by our own sinful nature, by our own human nature, we're sinful. And that's what the enemy does. This is a spiritual world. If you go into Ephesians and you read the Bible, chapter 6, starting at verse 10, it tells you that we don't wrestle against each other. It's the principalities and darkness and the powers that we don't even see. And here's the funny thing about it. You see it happening into your life every day. Every day we're going through something, because the Bible tells us we're going to go through it. But then you have no defense, because you haven't put on any armor, because you don't believe in anything. You think you got up on your own. And it's our belief system. And when we choose to think that we just popped up on this earth magically, or scientists tells you came from a monkey, and you choose to live that kind of thing, then that's what happens. You're going to live in that kind of pain. Not saying that the believers are not going to go through, because certainly we are going to go through. But guess what? It's going to be a different kind of going through, because we know at the end of the day that God's going to get the victory.
Come on.
So if you want to see pain, so you got to change something. You can't get up and keep doing the same thing and think there's going to be change. You got to change some things in your life if you want something different to happen. So if I don't know, guess what? I don't know everything, but guess who does? I have the resource that I can direct you to who does. And I might say who, but that's just an anthropomorphization, because God is a spirit. He's not a man that he should lie. And that's my comment.
Good deal. Sis, I thought you were going to go into a sermon over there for a second, boy. I thought I thought your rider came and had showed up, and you was about to go. You was about to go on in.
You got to be careful, Raheem. You got to be careful when you ask something about the spirit.
Come on now.
That's my job right there.
Come on. There you go. Curtis, what do you say to that, man? When all you see is pain, Curtis, all you see is pain. You just want to do the right thing, want to be right, want to do good, but all you see around you is pain. Curtis, talk to me. Kurt, you there? Make sure I don't have it muted there. No.
Yeah, what's up, man?
When all you see is pain, Kurt, talk to me, brother.
You know what? When all I see is pain, I see progress. Because the God I serve has always told me, weeping will endure for a night, but joy come in the morning. So when I see pain, I see progress. Like even even down to this, a lot of people, even a lot of church folk that I've had this conversation with have kind of told me I was crazy. Thank you so much. Have told me I was crazy. I'm sorry. I'm up early this morning dealing with a client before I get on this road, brother. But I've had some church folk tell me I was crazy because even with this coronavirus, I am a strong and fervent believer that see God only going to allow for you to mistreat His people, but for so long. See, God is in my mind, God is a forgiving God, right? So God will forgive you for the misdeeds that you do, and He'll do it repeatedly. That's what grace and mercy is all about, right? But see, people got so comfortable in mistreating other folk that it became the norm. And God said, okay, now I done told you, I done sent you several messages to let my people go and to treat my people. Let my people go and treat my people a little better. I done told you how powerful these people are. I done told it to you. I done showed it to you. And I done allowed for them to demonstrate to you just how crucial they are to the existence of mankind. But yet you still want to mistreat them. You still want to take their money. You still want to not provide them the means for health care. You still want to not provide them the means to have an upright life. And you still want to treat them like they're animals. So guess what? I'm going to make you have to live like the animals for which you treat. So I'm going to make you feel the brunt of being broke. I'm going to make you feel the brunt of not being able to have health care, of having something that, guess what? We can't treat. You can't do it. It can only be treated by me. I'm going to make you feel that. So I used to told a couple church folk, listen, say what you want to say about this corona thing, but the last time I looked, a lot of folk got blessed with a whole lot of money. Say what you want to say about this corona thing, a lot of folk that wasn't diagnosed with certain terminal illnesses because they couldn't afford to go to the hospital, wind up going there for corona and finding out, oh, hey, baby, hey, we got to pull you in. You got some kidney issues. You got some lung issues. Oh, hey, baby, you got some brain issues. You have some mental health issues. Hey, baby, hold on now. We got to get on top of it. We're going to get this corona thing straight. But this other thing definitely going to take you out of here. So, you know, pain is pain. And for those that don't know and think I'm talking off the side of my neck, I live with pain for the rest of my life. Not only emotional pain, but I live with physical pain and will live it for the rest of my adult life. If God allowed me to be here to be 150 years old, I wake up every morning in pain. I go to bed every night in pain. I walk the streets in pain. I ain't going to give my medical history because that's going too far. Wow. But I know when a doctor look at me, I will never forget it. June 7th, 2004. 2004. The doctor looked at me and I saw a tear fall out that man's face. And I looked at him and I said, look, man, hold on now. You starting all this crying foolishness now. You got me nervous. I'm getting scared. I ain't never seen no doctor drop a tear. He said, Mr. McNeil, I don't understand it. That's what you mean. He said, I don't even understand how you walking, sir. I don't understand how you walking, sir. You have no spinal fluid. You have a very marginal amount of spinal fluid in your lombardic column. And in your cervical column, your spinal fluid is being pinched. So basically, my spinal column had no even spinal fluid flow from the top to the bottom. He said, I don't even know how you walking, sir.
Mm-hmm.
He said, it's got to be a miracle. I said, man, you ain't know I serve a powerful God. And I ain't perfect by a long shot.
Mm-hmm.
I got one foot in hell and another foot in heaven. I'm hoping that the foot I got in heaven is good enough that God say, look, boy, I done give you an opportunity. You come on in here now.
Mm-hmm.
You tried, that doggone it. You tried.
Mm-hmm.
But see, a lot of church going folk, they don't look at it like that. They look at it like fire and brimstone, and oh, there's a bill of perfection that you have to have, and this, that, and the third. Bishop taught me something that I will never forget. And every once in a while, I slip up, but I always find it and put it back close to my heart. Bishop taught me that, Kurt, your actions might not be perfect, but don't you ever forget that you are perfectly made.
Good deal. Good deal. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let me keep this thing going, man, because I want to hear everybody's heart in regards to this particular topic right here. Mary, what do you say to that, Mary? When all you see is pain, when all you see is pain, Mary, what's on your heart? Mary?
Nothing in particular. I don't really know how you would get to that point when that's all you see. Mm-hmm. And nothing, I'm sorry if you hear a lot of colorful language, I'm actually I don't see how you get to that point where that's all you see, like nothing good in your life is happening at all that you see, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like that's a sad place to be for sure. But that's really all I can say about that. I've never been in that place. I've never seen anybody in that place, so I don't really know.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. Rico,
how you even get there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's good. Rico, what's on your heart?
I agree with her, man. I swear the whole time, the minute you came up with that topic, I was thinking to myself, man, how could I even relate to that? You know, and one thing I had to make sure I paid attention to was the fact that you said, when all you see, you didn't say feel, you said see. So I thought about it, man. What kind of place could you be to where all you see is pain or maybe chaos? And then I thought about an innocent man in prison or a prisoner of war. And all they see is pain and chaos, especially in Alabama. You know about prisons in Mississippi and Alabama, man, it's killing fields. They dying like it's a sport. They're killing each other left and right. And so I can imagine, man, that could be chaotic like hell in a situation like that, man, where you around all this ignorance. I got locked up for 3 months for something I didn't do. And I didn't want to bail out because I know you don't get that money back. So I was like, you know what, man, I'm going to fight this. I'm going to fight this. I'm going to just be resilient. And a couple of times, man, I broke down and I was like, man, you a fool. You should have went ahead and burned it out. You ain't supposed to be in here to eat food, some monkeys. This is like a zoo.
Yeah.
They're screaming all night. The CEOs, they playing mind games. They turning the lights on all night so you can't sleep, man. Then they treating you nice one day, man. It's just chaos. This ain't supposed to exist. This is Earth.
Yeah.
This is the United States. This ain't supposed to be going on. I wonder, does anybody know about this? So, you know, put yourself in those shoes and then you think to yourself, if you are innocent in a situation like that, and you do have the mindset of being a visionary, you have standards and qualities, and you see all this dysfunction going on in the way these people think. Somewhere you have to find some type of way to keep your sanity. You have to find some type of way to find your joy. If you got access to fight and defend or change some narratives, then you have that resilience to change that narrative, especially if it's for your benefit or maybe anybody else. And you know, it sort of reminds me of going to a job and being in that situation what you was talking about, where people, they already had you pegged. No matter what you did, no matter how good you did the job, they still just had to peg you because you didn't conform to the system that they had in place.
Exactly.
And I didn't believe in labor unions. But guess what I ended up doing? I ended up not only joining the union, but I ended up becoming the union representative. So I had to find some type of way to change the atmosphere or to change the outlook of where I was stuck at if I was going to be stuck there. If I'm not stuck there, then all I got to do is just move. If all I see is pain, I ain't got to see it no more if I got a choice. All I just got to go somewhere and see joy. Just move.
Exactly. Do you think a lot of times that is one of the reasons why a person contemplate suicide or something like that when all they see is pain?
Sometimes they can't move. Sometimes they can't move, and they don't see any hope. They lose hope. Now, in some situations, if the question would have been when all you feel is pain, yeah, that's definitely why some people commit suicide.
Absolutely. Cavalier, talk to me, brother. When all you see is pain.
Man, I love Mary's response because that is how I feel about it. You know what I tell people? I'm sure I've had some things happen that were not great, but you know what? I don't dwell on those things. I have never been a person to even think about what you thought about over there. Even with this whole work situation, I ain't never worked a job I didn't want. I ain't never stayed at a job I didn't want to stay at.
Yep.
Because one, if you come at me with wrong, I have a God that says, one, I will be with you always. So I can walk out of any door, I can close, I can open doors and do whatever I like on this planet.
Come on, preach, brother.
I ain't see when all you see is pain. Look somewhere else. I don't care how bad it gets. First thing I do in my worst day, with all I've been through, God, but you're still good. But I'm still here. For whatever reason, I know I'm not here on my own, so I must be here for what you want me to be here for. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my will in your will, and I'm going to keep rolling that way.
Yeah.
I have been blessed simply because of one, I don't care about nothing really what somebody else talking about. I am going to do what is right.
Come on.
I'm going to do the best I can to respect my neighbors, to treat people how I want to be treated, and being an asset to those that I am around and those that I am engaged with. I can't see pain everywhere. I mean, I see further than you. That's all I can tell people. Ain't no big difference. People talk about, well, you this, you that. I ain't about nothing. You heard me? I ain't about nothing. Because when it comes down to it, all the education and all that other stuff don't even matter.
Yeah.
What I'm more concerned about is where I'm going. That's why I don't be looking back. Oh, I can't dwell on what somebody did because I'm too busy trying to get ahead.
Come on, say it. Say it.
Forward. You cannot sit around worried about everything. I've learned as a child, I will look to the hills from which cometh my help. My help coming from the Lord. That is my savior. Not you, not the American economy, not white folks, not nobody. And so we have to understand that when we put our faith in something else, we will fail. The only difference between me and most people is my faith in God. That is the only difference. I don't see people falling apart. Ooh, what is we gonna do? Man, I'm gonna keep doing what I've been doing.
Yep.
I'm gonna keep doing what I've been doing. Because I do know if it gets too bad,
see it.
I can go down to the river and a fish will present itself with silver in its mouth. So I've been fed by that brook. So I don't understand or feel when people talk about, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna pray about it. Like the young lady said before, her hard work, her faith, whatever it took for her to go to work, them 30 years.
Yep.
She said, look what she's done. Look what she's accomplished. It wasn't about somebody else. She invested in herself. She said, I'm going to do this so I can have. And she stuck to it. And that's where she arrived to. So when people talk, every time you go to work, you know how much you're going to get paid for you go in there. You don't sign up for a job and then going to sit there and complain about the pay when you knew what the pay was.
Yep.
The Bible says everything that you do for the glory of God. So if I go to a job, you going to benefit because of my mindset, not yours. I can take my labor somewhere else. You walk in here and want to talk to me any kind of way, I take my labor somewhere else. But while I'm here, I'm going to do the best I can for me because that's what makes me feel good. I'm going to work hard because it makes me feel good to work hard. This notion of that somebody else lazy and blah, blah, blah. You lazy for sitting around talking about somebody else. Well, you gonna put that on somebody else. You talking about they lazy, but they up running, doing everything else that they wanted to do all their life.
You could be doing something
calling them lazy.
Instead of you doing something, you sitting there talking about gossiping about somebody.
Yeah. You talking about that. See, I don't appreciate that, because one, if you come after me, you have to respect the fact that I'm gonna come after you. And so we should stop all this woe is me and woe is like, well, we still slaves. No, Negro, you a slave.
Ain't no we.
Ain't no we in this. I don't know how you living or what you doing. Your ways ain't even my ways.
Yeah.
So how you know about me? When we sitting here like Toya say, she working hard for what she want.
Yeah.
It ain't got nothing to do with nobody else. She trying to get somewhere in her life. So that is what she focuses on. I'm not focused on how much money the man that owned the business made, because that ain't what I signed up for. I signed up for point blank right there in the contract.
You didn't sign up to be him.
I ain't signing up to be him. I ain't paid the dues that he don't pay to create this, to build this, to do that. That ain't none of my business. Give me what you said you was gonna give me, and we good. And you ain't even gotta love me, because that ain't in the contract.
And one of the things that comes out for what you just said, and Rico, I know you probably seen this as well, but Kobe made a comment while Kobe was still here. He made a comment, and he said it put him in a situation.
Are you trying to say who now? Who was that?
Kobe.
Oh, Kobe Bryant. Okay.
Yeah. He made a comment. He made a comment where and he said he didn't talk to his teammates, man, for a good 2 or 3 weeks, because Michael Jordan said to him one time. Michael Jordan said, "Yeah, you could wear the shoes, but you could never fill them. You could wear my shoes. You can wear them here. Take them. You can wear them, but you could never fill them." And so that's that's that mindset right there, man. Even though you put them on, you can't fill these shoes, man. You can't do it.
You just can't. They're not your shoes.
They're not yours.
They're not your shoes. You can't be mad at a person for maximizing their potential. You can't be envious of that. You can't sit here and say, you know what, I should have as much money as he had. No, you shouldn't. No, you shouldn't. Everybody think they worth more than what they're getting paid.
I'm gonna tell you something,
ain't working for what you're worth.
Everybody see and want the glamour of the end result, but they don't understand what it took to get there, man.
Thank you.
They don't understand what it took to get there. It take more to get there than it do sometimes to even stay there. It takes a lot to get there, man.
And you got some people, they're focusing on the wrong things. Like, people had decided to hate me simply because that I was management or what have you, and this, that, and the other. And when I broke it down to them actually, and sit down with them, I said, the only difference between me and you is I decided to be a manager. I decided to take advantage of something else. Here I am. I'm a manager, but I support the union for life.
Yep.
Always have. Always been that kind of person. That's why they don't get along with me in corporate America, because I don't lie, I don't cheat, and I don't steal. I don't click up with people trying to hurt other people and things of that nature. So once we focus on doing our best, be your best. Can't nobody talk you out if you're doing what you're supposed to do.
Good deal. Good deal. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Give us a call. We love to have your input. Now, we're talking right now about when all you see is pain. When all you see is pain. Badger, talk to me, brother. What's on your heart?
Well, when you asked that question, I looked at it from my point of view. And most of what I see in this world is pain. And with me saying that, it's me being aware of the trauma that people choose to live in, how they treat one another, the selfishness that's in the world, the greed that's in the world. Now, it doesn't control how I live, because I do my best to uplift people. What, sitting, watching, helping, all the interactions I have in the gaming communities I'm a part of, they talk about how people treat them and they're not sure what to do a lot of times. They're, be it a lifestyle that they've chosen or feel like they have to live, or the current job situations, being disabled, it's a lot of times it feels like in this in most society, most of the time in society, you're expected to be a certain way, and if you are different, you're almost excommunicated from certain communities, so where you have to fight to have your voice heard. So to me, the way you're asking that question, I'm not looking at it based on how I feel, living with what I live with. It's what I see. And I guess I'm very community oriented, so I pay attention to the communities. So I know there's communities out there that are helping one another, sticking up for one another and things like that. I know they're out there. What I see more of the communities that are selfish and greedy and not really helping one another. And sorry, kiddos are fighting over TV.
Hey, Batch, I'm gonna come back to you, brother. I'm gonna come back to you. Toy you with a T. What's on your heart when all you see is pain? When all you see is pain. Toya?
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm going to do that.
Hey, Toya, you're a little bit you're a little bit low, Toya. You're a little bit low.
Yeah. So I grew up in the projects. I saw a lot of pain. Sometimes some of us don't know what pain looks like because we didn't come from there. Some parents do so well in keeping them away from the truth that they don't know that pain exists. But let's take a gander. Maybe, I don't know, Ethiopia. Where they have a bunch of hungry people who don't have medical help and they're undeveloped. Some of those people are in pain, but I'm going to keep it right here in America. When I get on the train at night, there's a lot of people that's homeless. I see pain. I see a lot of pain. And oftentimes we don't look at it. I thank the Lord for showing me that life is not just about me, even though it's about me, but noticing and acknowledging others gives me an opportunity to pray for them. I watched this movie last night called Kendall Chamberlain. It was this guy who was tormented. He'd been to the military, but he was in this mental pain. And they wound up killing him, the police officers. And when they killed him, I burst into crying last night. Because God has softened my heart to the point where I can't even look at nobody. And I see their pain and I know they're going through. I have to immediately go into prayer because I know, forgive them, Lord, they know not what they do. Some of the pain that's going on in this world is not caused by me. It's caused by other wicked people. And sometimes it's out of my control, so I can do nothing but pray for them because we have no idea what's really going on. We sit up here thinking and assuming, but we have no idea because we're not God. We don't know the truth. But I thank him for allowing me to see outside myself. And when I see somebody look like they got an issue, I'm immediately in the prayer. Period, blank, blank. Because there's things that need to be unbroken, unbound, set free, and loose.
Come on.
Being suicidal for so many years, there was a deep pain inside that nobody seen. Because when I put my mask on and jumped around and hopped around for y'all didn't think it. But deep down inside, I was in so much pain. And I can see that now. But I thank the Lord for taking me outside of myself. Because as soon as I see something wrong, as soon as I get the hint or the spirit of telling me something ain't right, I go into immediate prayer. Lord, bless them, cover their hearts. Infiltrate their mind like you did mine, Lord. Because he had to infiltrate me because I was just too out of control. However, we have to understand and we have to be grateful for either we're going to be Moses that became the son of the Pharaoh, or I'm going to be the Moses that if I did not go to be the son of the Pharaoh, they would have killed me. We got to figure it out. But at the end of the day, when you know that there's pain around, or even if you don't know, never experienced it, just know that it's there. And the only thing I can say is go into immediate prayer. Some people, we so terrible now. If you don't get a vaccine, we hoping you die. Oh, you ain't got the vaccine? Oh, when you're dead, I ain't going to do nothing for you because you didn't get that vaccine. Really? Really?
So we don't see pain. Like, come on, man. Sometimes we really have to just get outside of ourselves, be grateful for the position down here and thank the Lord, right? But then we also need to have some kind of empathy for other people. And let me throw this last thing out there. Do y'all know the insurance commissioner of Georgia went to jail for fraud, $2 billion? I guess he was lazy too.
Wow. I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Ripping us off.
When did that happen? Today?
Ripping us off. No, it's been a couple of weeks. It's been a couple of weeks now. But I just saw the article again, like yesterday, day before yesterday. I think it was like $2 billion he ripped off. The insurance commissioner, the one that's supposed to make sure all the other insurance companies are doing what they're supposed to. Come on,
when you could have voted for my sister that ran.
Funny. We know how white folks do. We know how the white folks stand with bankruptcy and making money and how they get over. We know this game. Why are we not infiltrating the game? But that's all I got, y'all.
Good deal. Good deal. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Give us a call. We're talking about when all you see is pain. Tucson, what's on your heart, brother?
You know, I try to, I don't know if I am or not, but I try to be an asset wherever I go, whatever I do. So there are some people that seek out to be an answer rather than a problem, or at least try to be part of a solution. I was listening to Rico, and I did the same thing. You couldn't tell me about no union, because I would tell them on the job, Tucson's gonna look out for Tucson. I don't need you to look out for me. Because first of all, I'm gonna do what I'm supposed to do. Because just like Leonard said, I don't work until I don't care where I go. It's surprising how every job I got, they wind up calling me easy money. Because I ain't gonna use my back. I'm gonna use my head. Because I'm gonna do the best I possibly can without hurting myself. I'm gonna go to work and leave the job just like I come.
Yeah.
Go home, take care of my responsibilities, and show up the next day. But along the way, I saw other folks being mistreated by people that would say and do things that I wouldn't tolerate. So I did the same thing. Rico did. I became the union steward. Then I became the chief union steward. Then I was on the executive board to try to resolve some of these issues. And I go in the room raising same as if the next time they would try to talk to somebody, it possibly would be me, and I wasn't going to have it. So when you see pain and don't do anything about pain, you possibly part of the pain. You know, some people just don't say nothing. Oh man, I used to go in there, man, and they'll tell me something. Oh, Tucson, but don't say nothing. Wait a minute, hold up now. You mean to tell me that this man is talking to you any kind of way, doing you any kind of way? You telling me I'm supposed to be representing you, and you don't want me to say nothing?
Don't sound right, does it?
So, don't sound right, but it happens because people fear their job. Especially when they're not quite good at it.
Yeah.
So you have to go in there and that's across the board. I'm talking about even in our religious organizations, let me just put it like that. We got people suffer in that way. And you got to be on guard for righteousness to make sure that people don't get mistreated. I mean, we all have our place in society that if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything.
Absolutely.
So when we see pain, and just get along to go along to get along and just say, okay, it's not happening to me, then, oh, well, it must be all good. And you know what? It's just my opinion that you part of the problem too.
Absolutely. 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 Cassandra, you there? Cassandra, you there? Let's go to Willa. Willa, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, Raheem.
Okay.
I was on mute.
Okay. Your phone is just your phone is just
I want to make a comment about that.
Hold on, Willa. Hold on, Willa. Your phone is a little bit low. Your phone's a little bit low. Are you talking directly in your phone?
Okay, let me turn it up some, and then let me turn this other stuff off.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, that's better. That's better.
Okay.
I want to ask you a question. I want to ask you a question first. Let me ask you a question first. What happens? What happens? And I want you to say what you was about to say as well. But I want to throw this question at you first. What happens when all you see is pain, but that pain is staring back at you in the mirror?
So that's good, because that was going to be kind of what I was going to say.
Mm-hmm.
In ministry, I'm an evangelist. So, by you being in the ministry, you have people that come at you all the time with what's going on in their life that is painful.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to address it according to the individual. Okay. And the reason I say that is because when you see people and you know what they do and they don't take responsibility for what they do, you got to be careful in how you talk to them and then what you say. Because I heard one of the gentlemen talk about when they say how people commit suicide, because you don't want to lead weak people into a direction of suicide.
Mm-hmm.
So first of all, one of the things you have to do is you definitely have to stay prayerful, because you can't at one time think that it's you doing anything. It's the power of God that's working through you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's everybody. It's the power of God. See, you can't think that it's you doing it, because it's God that we need. It's God that directs us. It's the Holy Spirit that guides us. And that's what you have to believe. That's the hardest thing in life, Raheem, is to get people to believe in God by faith. They don't want to believe in something that they can't see. They don't want to believe in something that somebody's telling you to happen over 2,000 years ago. They want to live by their five senses: see, sight, smell, taste. That's the way they want to live. But see, God is telling us to live by faith. And see, that's the direction we have to take people that are going through pain into that direction. And yes, when it comes back to me like a boomerang, because yes, it has, I have not always been this way. When I was younger, I had a baby at 15. So you become transparent to that individual that you're talking to. You have to be honest, and you got to just lay it on the line. See, so you have to put yourself in the position sometimes and let them know, hey, I'm not perfect. I've not always been that way. But guess what? This is what I did in order to change my life through God.
That's good.
That's my comment.
That's good. Badger, finish your thought, brother. Badger?
It's, man, pretty much what they're hitting on is what I was talking about earlier. Being community oriented, I pay very close attention to, or always have, to the people that are around me, because I want to make sure nobody goes through what I've gone through. And I guess that's just part of human nature, or that's my suspicion anyway, or my opinion, is to make sure other people are taken care of too, and they find their way to light. So it's always been a struggle for me and hard to understand when other people make comments about, only worried about themselves and things like that, because I always felt that those words can cause confusion in people. You know, some of the people I hear say this are one of the first people to take their shirt off their back to someone that's truly in need, someone that's truly trying to better themselves. You know, and I'm like, can't those words confuse people? You know, saying taking care of myself and things like that, yet they also say, you know, creator or God, depending on terminology or word usage, you know, always provides for me. And it's, I guess it's my confusion with certain words or word usages, you know, can it cause people confusion and misdirection without even intending to?
Wow, that's good. Rico, what's on your heart, brother?
One thing about pain, there's no positive outcome from it, especially if that's all you see. And the thing is, if you are in a situation where all you see is pain, that means that pain is the menu, is the meal of the day. That is the order. And so you might have to be that asset, like Donald was saying. You know, that's what I tend to be. Is that word rebel, that title that goes with the word rebel, is not bad all the time. Because if you're in a situation where pain is sort of mandatory, or oppression is mandatory for a system to work, then that system is going to rebel against you when you try to create some change. I go back to being innocent and incarcerated the little time that I was, and I started seeing actually what inmates went through and how nasty correctional officers could be. And I was like, man, you know what? They got to have more rights than this. So I started being an asset, becoming an asset. I met people. I met one young man that didn't know how to read. I started teaching him how to read. Did something constructive, something that'll benefit somebody. Then he went to somebody and wanted them to write a letter to his sister. He felt funny about it. Came back and wanted me to read the letter. The dude that he had to write the letter to him was asking his sister for money and for a phone number.
Hey, can I ask Rico? Can I ask you a question real quick?
Go ahead.
If you experiencing the pain and seeing the other people in pain brought you to do something positive, then isn't it possible for pain to bring that positivity out?
Well, that's if you rebel against it. You see, I could have easily joined in on a lot of that chaos and pain and just conformed, but I rebelled. I started filing grievances against COs. I started doing a lot of the things that a person that would represent himself in court would do, bucking against the system. So that's why I was saying sometimes being a rebel isn't a bad thing. We hear that word, and some people look at that as being bad, but you know, I was rebelling against a system that, you know, that was the function. Pain was functional, you know, and I saw that. Same thing when I went to that job and determined that I was going to become a union chairman. From a union rep to a union chairman. A lot of people thought it was about me. A lot of people thought, well, you just complaining because now you done earned your way and they won't give you a supervisor job and this and that. And I'm like, nah, that's not it. I'm like, man, you know, first off, I didn't even deserve to be in this atmosphere, but I put myself here. I made a lot of mistakes and ended up in this atmosphere where I'm working in this place, even though it was a good paying job. But once I saw what was going on with other people after, because I did start fighting for myself. I started filing my own grievances, and I wasn't even in the union. But a union still has to represent you. So I started filing my own grievances. That's how I ended up getting that job, being a union rep and then going to chairman. But the thing was life brings so many different obstacles, and you can't predict what'll happen. And I thought to myself, what if my sons have to come out here? And they tell me in another 10 or 15 years, they going through the same stuff that I went through or that I saw. That means while I was there, I didn't make the atmosphere in the building. Because I didn't make the atmosphere in the building, my sons got to come to this same place and go through the same racism or discrimination or whatever. So I decided then I'm going to put my foot down now. for my son and your son and whoever else son come out here so they can have fair opportunity and not have to go through some of the mistreatment that goes on. I wanted to see if I could relieve some of the pain.
Exactly.
So that's where a lot of compassion and empathy comes in. We have to have compassion and empathy, even if we are not experiencing the pain. If we see the pain, we have to do something about it.
Good deal. Good deal. Let me go.
Raheem.
Yes.
Raheem, real quick. Remember I told you I worked at Mars for 30 years.
Yes.
Now, they didn't start hiring black people to 1964 at M&M Mars. So it was a predominantly white company.
Mm-hmm.
So I was going in, it was two things against me. I was a woman and I was black.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I worked hard. I had 10 years of perfect attendance. And I was going for positions after positions after positions. And I couldn't get it. So, it wasn't a company that had a union. It was a privately owned company. So a lot of people were afraid to go up against a privately owned company, meaning they could fire you at will.
Yeah.
But see, I was smart enough to have a lot of documentation that showed I had good character. I had a perfect attendance. I was a hard worker. And every time I went up against a position, a white person got it, which was a white male. So what I did was I took them to EEOC.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you something, Raheem. I was in there without a lawyer. And I was up against the arbitrator.
Mm-hmm.
I was in there for 3 hours. And by the time I got through, I was going to my next process of the EEOC. They called me, said, okay, what you want to do now? You know what I told them? Because I knew I was at the end. I knew I could get them. I said, I'm going to pray about it, and I'm going to let God do the rest.
Mm-hmm.
And I was at that company for 30 years. That's what I want to tell you. When you don't be afraid. If you allow fear to come in and not to go up against something you believe that can't change, he's right. It'll never change.
Mm-hmm.
But when I left M&M Mars, I guarantee you, it wasn't about me. It was for the next black woman that came up in there and had to go against the same thing I had to go up against.
Praise God. Yeah.
You got to do something to change some things.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Kurt, what's on your heart, brother?
You call on me, Ryan?
Yes, sir.
All right. What was you saying?
Now, what's on your heart about what we're talking about, man, when all you see is pain?
Oh, man. You know what? Leonard said something a while ago that I remember, and when I heard the sister talking about working at Mars, really hit home for me. I had a really good friend that went to work for Mars, and one of the things she explained to me, she was in a high up position. One of the things she explained to me tied into what Leonard said. Know who you working for and know whom you working for. Because a lot of people don't know this, but a lot of things changed at Mars when Warren Buffett bought into their whole operation. Set that in the house.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of things changed, and when Warren Buffett bought into that operation, that's a phenomenal company. Because he started making them stand on, okay, hold on, we can't do what we do without these employees. So you can mistreat these employees all you want to, but I don't want nothing to do with that. Yo! Because I don't want to tamper what we got going on. Because see, a lot of people don't know, they do a whole lot of things, man. They got a whole pet and a whole pet program where they feed pets the right food. They helping you get meds for pets, telling you what dogs can take what and what dogs can't. So they got a whole lot of things going on, man. But at the end of the day, you just gotta know what God you serve, man, and what his purpose is for you. Or at least strive to find out what his purpose is. And then everything else, it'll take care of itself, bro.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Tucson, anything on your heart before we get out of here?
No, just we all just need to be our best, not for only just ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
But then you may be you know a chain is only strong as its weakest link. So sometimes you have to reconnect on the other side and kind of tie it and tighten it up. That's about all.
Good deal. Toya with a T?
Hey, I just want to say, as usual, thank you for having the best platform ever. We can come on here and express our feedback, man. I love y'all so much. Keep doing what you're doing. This is the year, y'all.
Yes.
We get all the way around the globe. Everybody gonna know about this here radio. I love y'all so much and have a good day.
Hey, love you as well, sis. Rico, what's going on, sir, at 3 o'clock today?
Let me say this first. If you are able and capable and you see pain, do whatever you can to change the pain. If you missed today's broadcast and would like to see it in its entirety, tune in at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at www.dklmediagroup.com.
Good deal. Good deal. I was going to go to Miriam, but I think Miriam's at work. I'm going to let her pray us out, but I think she's at work right now, so I don't want to put on that. And Kurt, I was going to go to him, but he just hung up on us. Ain't that some mess? Ain't that some mess? Toussaint, pray us out, sir, before I have to call on Rico.
Hello. God, Father, we come and we give you praise and glory and honor, and we ask that you would allow us to be the best you, representative of you in us, and allow your light to shine through us to someone else. Bless us as we go through this day. Keep us in your care. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Amen. I want to thank everybody for joining us. And I want to let you know that we're here every day. We're here every day, Monday through Friday from 7 o'clock until 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern. 7 o'clock until, I said p.m., Lord. 7 o'clock until 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on DK. Now, somebody else just came in. Who just came in here? Oh, we got Cassandra back. Cassandra, anything you want to say before we get out of here?
Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm traveling and I'm on these back roads, and it kept saying that my phone wasn't registered. I don't know what that means, but anyway, great conversation as usual. I was able to, to listen to some of it. But thank you guys again. Please pray for me. I'm on my way to South Carolina for the press conference concerning my nephew's murder last year.
Now, is that today or Cassandra? Is it today?
I think she just went out again. She said she on them back roads. Sound like she cut out again.
Okay. All right. Well, look at I'm gonna start this thing again. We're gonna kick this thing off. I want to thank everybody for joining us. And again, we're here every day, Monday through Friday from 7 o'clock until 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on DKM Media Group and Associates. It is now 10:02. I want to thank everybody for joining us. And more than that, I want to thank you for allowing DKM Media Group and Associates and the Morning Glow for being a part of your morning. It is now 10:02. You're about to exit the Morning Glow. But before you go, I want you to do me two favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us because we're certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number two, why this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody and give them a hug because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you could do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. And we shine some of this light of you from the Morning Glow. Take it out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in and let your light so shine. If you get an opportunity, give somebody some love. You just might find some love in return. Won't that be a beautiful thing? Have a great day. Take care of each other. And please be blessed. Love you.